creating my life. So now, you're going to be exactly who you think you are. If you don't think you're happy now, you can't be happy in the future. If you don't feel... Let me share this example that happened to us in Agra. There was this little boy, and he was trying to sell me something. That was a very special moment. I didn't want, like, you know, this is my 4th time in India, the first time in Delhi. And I know that I'm not supposed to buy everything and give money, especially kids. So first thing I said, okay, I had given money to somebody who couldn't even walk, okay? So I said, okay. And then this little kid came in, and I said, not you, you go to school. I'm going to school, ma'am. He said, yeah, I heard that in Varanasi. So like, I was getting kind of mad, you know, like, okay, don't fool me. And then, but the thing is, he started, you know, he changed his physiology, and he became sad. So my friend said, just give him this change. I didn't feel good about it. I knew from the bottom of my heart that he needed something else. And when we gave him the change, he said, I am not poor. He said, good for you. He said, I'm just doing business, so you keep on doing business. I just wish I had spent more time with him. But that made me very happy. I am not poor. I won't settle for less than I can be, do, or create in my life. So don't come with this small change. I want to sell the stuff. You don't want to buy it? Fine. Somebody else is going to buy it. This is attitude. I have faith in that. So, focus. He was focusing on his business. A little kid right there. That kid, if no teachers, no parents spoil him and start making him believe that he can't, that kid is going to become a multimillionaire or a billionaire. Then you have the language you use. So you say, I can't do it, or I can do it. You say, this is terrible, why is this happening to me? Or do you ask better questions? Let me tell you about my own experience and about... I don't know what I did. So, when I was 21, I had been married for 6 months. And I got, yes, stop calculating, please. And then I had a dream that my father had passed away. I went to his house, and I said, I had this dream. And I had the opportunity of thanking him for everything he had done for me. I asked him, I said, please forgive me if I have ever done anything, you know, that made you upset. He said, no, you've given me great joy. And then I said, okay, why don't you come with us to the beach? He said, no, I'm going to stay here. And we had a long conversation. Making a long story short, on the following day he was murdered. And I asked myself, what's good about this? I never asked why. And the answer was, what is good? He was not sick in bed, like vegetating, you know, like he had a beautiful life. He was a happy man. He was a philosopher. His name was Socrates. I said, and then I focused on what? I focused on how happy and how lucky I had been for having had such a wonderful father. I focused on everything that was positive. And then, not from a fearful state, but from calm courage, gratitude, and being joyful, I decided to be happy and live a happy life. So, if you want to be a champion, the only thing you have to learn to control is your emotions. Is your emotions. You cannot control the weather, you cannot control your spouse, you cannot control your father, you cannot control your mother, you cannot control your boss, you cannot control your team, your employees. The only thing you can control is the way you feel. So, success occurs when your dreams get bigger than your excuses. Where's his focus? That's bravery. He's not focusing. He has a strategy. Fearlessly brave. Yes, there is. My son. Just wait. Next Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. So, he was focusing. So, the other guy was much bigger. So, when we have an opponent or something like that, what happens to us? If there's someone or a company that's bigger and your company is small, you start thinking that you are?
You don't succeed.
You're less. Less powerful, less tall, less strong. Was he focusing on that?
No.
Okay, was in his mind, was he saying like, I can't beat him?
No.
Did he have a strategy?
Yes.
How was he using his body? In his favor. Faster. So, this is what you have to do. But one day, this will stop because we will have one consciousness. And this won't be necessary anymore. I am using this because I wanted to do this. The giant represents what? Fear. Your fear cannot be bigger than you. Okay, I'm going to skip this. So, yes, I am a champion. I've been married for 35 years. Stop calculating, please. I was born and I got married. And this is my husband. He's an engineer. And this is our son. Next, Tom Cruise. He graduated from Pace University. And right after graduation, guess what? He had nothing to do. No jobs. What did he do? He wrote, produced, directed, and acted in his own movie. That's how Hollywood, Bollywood stars are born. People, at the age of 6, I knew he was going to be an actor. And people came to me and said, are you, because actors, maybe in this country it's a good thing, but not in Brazil. And I said, well, that's what he loves. Yeah, but he is not going to make any money. I said, well, you don't understand. If he becomes a doctor, he's going to kill somebody. If he becomes an engineer, he'll probably go to prison because the bridge is going to, collapse. If he becomes a teacher, the students are going to hate him. And if he's a lawyer, he's going to lose all the cases. He's not interested. His only chance is to do what he loves. You're all MBA students here, right? Follow your heart. One of the things that I did, one of my degrees is in hospital administration. First I thought I was going to be a doctor. Then I quit and I went to hospital administration. I got my degree. And then my father-in-law, I was fascinated by my father-in-law. That's why I married my husband, because my father-in-law was already. So I loved him so much. And one day he said, okay, I was offered a job as a director of a hospital. And I said, but that's not my passion. I love teaching. And he said, you just want to be a teacher. I made more money than any CEO or president in Brazil. Do what you love. And add value to people's lives. Are you familiar with Jack Ma?
Yes.
Study about Jack Ma. He says, when you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the trust that society put on you. Add value. Add massive value. The money will come. So yes. And this is my house, and I have 2 dogs. And I am a platinum member together with Tony Robbins, and that means that I have been accepted to join this group of multimillionaires and billionaires. So when I signed the contract, I was in Fiji, I was invited. It was an invitation that you pay, by the way, $35,000. And then if you're accepted, you pay $135,000. And my husband was working in Africa. First he worked in Haiti for 2 years, and then in Africa, and then in Trinidad, Tobago, so he was gone for 6 years. And my son had been living in the United States, and I started feeling sorry for myself, playing the role of a victim. Until one day I got this invitation, and I went and I met Mr. Tony Robbins. And and there was this opportunity for me to become a platinum member. I was accepted, and I started traveling with Tony Robbins. And the first trip was, guess where? To India. And that was when my life really changed. Because before it was only about success. So I have taken all his leadership courses, and I have become a senior leader. So I am an extension of Tony in his events. I teach people, for instance, how to walk on fire. And some people say, why? Why do you want to teach people to walk on fire? Do you have the answer? The fire is just a metaphor. It represents everything that has been preventing you from achieving what you want. It's just a metaphor. Has anybody here ever walked on fire? Not like that, but like this.
Yeah.
Who? Tell me about it. That's why he did like, yeah!
So before you go, it's very scary, but there are a lot of people who have apprehensions about doing it. So there are 2 kinds of people who would fear, and the people who would see them and instill fear in themselves. But there are some people who, to prove those people who are fearful, would walk on it. And once one person has passed, everybody then follows. They think that somebody has done it, I can do it too. So it's a very scary experience before you do it, but once you do it, it's a very exhilarating, freeing kind of a feeling. I mean, you've done something. You can, walk on fire. It's a piece of cake now. You can do anything else.
Yes, it's a piece of cake for those who are prepared. You have to get prepared. I don't want you to walk on fire like that, because people do get burned. Did anybody get burned?
Yeah.
Yes. So, what do you have to do if you want to walk on fire? Use the triad. Use your physiology. So there's the fire here. You make your move. Yes! Do you look at the fire?
No.
No. To the goal.
What do you focus on?
The end line.
Sorry?
The destination.
Yes. What you focus on what you want. First question is, and I'm going to ask somebody to answer. What is it that you want out of your life? Think of 3 things fast. What do you want? 3 things you want.
Billionaire, philanthropist, opportunity creator.
So you get one of them. Tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4th row. Second seat. Yes, you. What do you want?
Happiness.
Happiness. What else? But what is happiness to you?
Happiness. Whatever I do in my life, I get success for that. And getting
So you're
success.
saying that you're happy, but the happiness is linked to success? So are you happy now?
Yes, ma'am. Because I got success every day.
Yeah. There are people who say, just to be above ground, like make me feel successful. Right? So you want happiness, what else? No, so give me something very specific. Like, how much money do you want to make? Who knows how much money you want to make a year? Raise your hand. Okay? A year. Like, what's your idea? What's your figure?
I feel that I have to own a company which is in top 10 big companies of India
Over?
over next 10 years.
Okay. So what is the number? Like,
A number, what I say,
if to
1
be
million
the
per day.
10th, like among the 10th best.
A million per day.
Yeah.
So, how much?
A million.
Okay, a million a day. You have to have, like, your goals have to be very specific. And you have to, you know, you learn that here, so I don't have to go through it. Very good. So, so if he has to, what's your name?
Akshay.
Akshay?
Akshay.
Okay, now here I go. So, Mr. A, if you have to walk on fire, are you going to be focusing on the fire or 1 million a day? Yes. So when I see people, like, is it everybody leaves the room to walk on fire like this? Yes, yes, yes. And then they, you know, they get into lines, and then they start doing like this. Checking, like, okay, what is this? Like, what am I doing here? And then I see people just leaving. I feel sorry for those who leave. There was a pregnant mother who got burned. And she was not in my lane. She was on the first floor, and she said, can you help me? Can you get a wheelchair for me? I said, what happened? I got burned. And then I said, well, there were no wheelchairs on that floor, and they were all gone. It was a disaster. It happened in Dallas 2 years ago. And then my son was there and said, okay, we can carry you, because she was staying in the hotel very close. And then she told us she was pregnant and that she was not coming back. And then we had time to change her mind, and she came back. And she said, you know what I'm going to tell my son or my daughter when he or she is born? That I walked on fire. I got burned because I was not focusing. And she did not understand, she was from a different country, that she was supposed to be saying something while walking on fire. Because that's what you do. You use your physiology, then you focus on what you want, and then while you are walking on fire, what's going to happen to your mind? You're gonna start having what? Thoughts. I'm walking on fire. So what do you have to do with your thoughts?
Focus.
You have to eliminate your thoughts. How do you eliminate your thoughts?
By focusing on something else.
By saying something else. so that you cannot hear. So you can use a mantra, you can say like, kumos, kumos, kumos. But the first time I did it, the person, the senior leader who was there was not very good. So I was there, my son was there, my husband could not be there. And, make a move, yes, make a move, yes. And then, you know, and then I said, go. And I said, okay, what is my focus? Like I was not well prepared. But I was not focusing on that because I knew that I was not supposed to look down, so I just kept on looking up. Yes, yes, yes. But then I knew that I was supposed to say something, and the word that Tony gave me was kumos, kumos. But like your name, I couldn't remember the word or the mantra, whatever. So what happened? I got stuck. I got stuck, and my son came to me, and he whispered, I love your mom. And when he said that, I just started screaming, what was it again? What was it again? What was it? In Portuguese. Like, who cares? I'm doing this for him. Because I'm not a coward. I'm not going to settle for less. And I've got to set an example for my son. Especially because he has to get used to rejections. When you're an actor, sometimes, they don't get you, not because you're not good, it's just because of the color of your skin for that particular role. Or, because of your height. So every time he gets a no, what does he say? Next! So, how was the audition, Leonardo? Next! Okay. Right? Keep on moving. So, this is what you have to do. Use your physiology, focus, change your language. Be a champion, and you won't get burned. So, as a platinum member, I'm telling you this story because this is life, right? So, I remember that I started feeling sorry for myself. My house became a haunted mansion. My own business became a burden because I was focusing on myself. Oh, where's my husband? Oh, my dear son. Oh, poor me. So I had a tumor, and I had to undergo surgery. But when I got the invitation, I was okay, so let's go. And I went, and I said, okay, under one condition, okay, I know that Tony wants a teacher there, only 130. It's impossible to have only 130 people in a room with Tony nowadays. It's just 13,000 or more. And I said, okay, can I bring my son? Because he cannot go to Date with Destiny at the end of the year because of the final exams. He said, yes, you can bring your son. But before seeing Tony, I would have to climb a post because they read that I was afraid of heights. So not only that, I had a story. My legs are weak because I underwent surgery. The stories you tell is the life you live. And my trainer said, that's your story. I don't know what you're going to do, but you must change that story. And she said something else. She said, listen to me, I don't want you to climb that post because of your son or because of your husband. You have to do it for yourself. Especially women, we do things for others. First, do it for yourself. Don't do it just for your husband because you will become miserable and you will lose your smile. Do it for yourself. It's like being on a plane. You put the mask first on yourself, then on the other person. You can't give away what you don't have. If you're not happy, you can't make anybody happy. I know that this is saying this on this stage in India. I have to be careful, but I came here with a mission to open everybody's eyes. Man, you want to see your wife happy? Focus on her needs. not on what you think is best for her. Listen to her. And then when she starts talking, don't try to fix it. She's just talking. This is called venting. This is feminine energy. Masculine energy, you want to fix things. Oh, you know, I'm tired. Why don't you quit your job? No, I'm just saying that. Just listen. It's painful, I know. For men, this is very painful. But hold it. Let her decide. Sometimes she just needs venting. That's it. But this is not, a relationship is a topic that I can talk about. Whole weekend. So, I said, okay, so I'm going to do this. I focused on my arms. See, it's not easy. It's not easy. And then I had a conversation with my father from that post. And my son was there, and when I was in the middle, I could hear him say, "That's good enough, Mom. It's okay. You don't have to do it." He was panicking. And I just kept on going. And when I got to the top, what happened? I felt like a champion. I said, wow, look at this view. It was in Fiji. Had I not climbed it, I would have never seen what I saw. But people down there thought that I got stuck. I said, oh, well, after doing all this, please give me some time to appreciate the view before I jump. And when I jumped, I cut my umbilical cord, and I started living my own life. I became a platinum member, and then I started traveling with Tony, doing things that I thought I would never do. Like, I was also afraid of, going fast. And I went bobsledding at 123 kilometers an hour. The guys on my team, they didn't want to have me, because if you do something wrong, what happens? You get killed and you kill everybody. So they said, I know how you feel, a bunch of guys, because all my friends, my girlfriends, they drank and they didn't go. And Tony said, in the morning, it was a financial trip. In the morning, you have to get out of the box and get out of your comfort zone. That was my way of getting out of my comfort zone. But I said to the guys, I said, I am a gladiator. Winter is my season. This is my time, and I'll not be denied. Give me your fears, give me your limits, and I'll give you results. And when it was over, I have the film here. When it was over, I said, was that all? So, yes. And